Hello and welcome to my craft room. As you can see, a bit of a change. I've got a whole new computer set up, new cameras, new lights, lots of things to get used to. Couldn't have done anything without without a lot of help from my very clever and very patient son, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I do appreciate it. You know I do. It's all been a very, very steep learning curve for me. We actually built the computer up from parts, and I did put some of the parts together myself with a lot of supervision. One of the most important considerations for me was what the whole thing was going to look like. I didn't want a huge big black monstrosity thing. I wanted a nice small little neat white one that could fit on my desk. So that's what I've now got. And although it's very small, it's 12 inches at its longest dimension. Everything I need fits in it, and it should all be a lot better once I get used to using everything. I uploaded a cobbled together video to YouTube earlier on today and it was really rubbish. So I'm going to get straight back on that horse, make another one this afternoon and see how we go. I apologise in advance if it's all a bit... I will get better. I can show you, I have two cameras so I can show you my desk. With my lovely new keyboard on it. It looks like a toy typewriter I would have had when I was a kid in the 60s, and a very pretty, it looks like a dirty white when it's sat there, but if I put it here you can see it's a very pretty mint green. These things are of the utmost importance when you're choosing a new computer system. All of the technical stuff I just totally went by Tom's advice because I know he knows he really does know what he's doing. I was only bothered about the aesthetic really, and then how easy it's going to be for me to use at the end of the day. So this is my craft room, slightly tidied up version because I've had to take a couple of bits back out the way so that I've got room to move while I'm doing this. But yeah, I know it doesn't look tidy, but believe me, that's the tidy version. What I'm going to go at today is my Snotter book, as I've taken to call it, which I keep over here. This is where I keep some of my journals and things that I've done. So look, does my bum look big enough? Oh, see, this is a problem with all of this, isn't it? Now I'm going to have to... Luckily I'm not vain. There's my wreck the journal there next door to it, and this is starting to get equally fat. Anyway, so I'm going to have a go at my This Is Not a Book today, and I think let's go to desk cam. I've got a shortcut as well, but I can't remember how to use it. I know it's one for face cam and two for hands, because one face, two hands. But I don't think I just press one or two. No. Is it control and... oh, so you see? I know what I'm doing. No idea. No, that's not it. I'll have to talk to someone about that. Anyway, without further waffling on, I'm going to put you onto desk cam and have a look at what I'm going to do in my Snotter book today. Now I'm not going to have room for the keyboard and that, and at the moment I've got the monitor so I can see what I'm doing, which is going to be so much easier. I've got that on my desk because the only thing I haven't got yet is a stand that's going to mount onto the side of the hutch above my desk so I can swing it around and leave my desk space free. So at the moment I've got nowhere to put the keyboard or bear with. Very important, I need somewhere to put the coffee. May or may not contain gin. You don't know, do you? I've got a microphone there, all of this technical paraphernalia. Pull yourself together, woman. Right, let's go on to desk cam and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that out of the way and just quickly show you. You put this out of the way altogether now. Let's put this over there. One of the nice things is that about this new setup is that the keyboard and the mouse are wireless and Bluetooth, so I can just move them about wherever I need them to be, which is great. I thought today I would have a go at this page. So this is page 13. This is the thought garden. I'm going to make it a wish garden. As you know, I always do my, well, as you'll know if you've watched any of my other videos, which you may not have, but I always do my own thing with these. I just see these as a prompt to get me going, and I do what I like with them, really. It's my book. It's my book. And I think Kerry Smith, who wrote the books, would agree. So the prompt here says, somewhere it's covered up, I think that said rumour. Rumour has it, if you plant seeds, brackets, ideas, in the dirt, they will grow and become, must have been true, I think, true to life in the real world. Plant your ideas here. So I'm going to plant my wishes, and I'm going to use as a kind of a starting point. This is something I did, two or 3 years ago now. Just a little sort of pen and ink sketch. I think it was with the stuff that came in a scrawler box one month. We had some fine liner black pens and some markers in kind of different skin tones, and I did this with it. So rather than work it all out again, I'm going to use these as a point of reference, and kind of do a version of that on here. Only inside each of the seeds, I will write my wishes, and my wishes for myself and the people I care about. So it'll be things like peace, joy, happiness, wealth, health, love, success, chocolate, whatever I think of, not too many. And then somewhere I've scribbled on here in pencil so I wouldn't forget when it occurred to me at some point. One of those old sayings, the kind of thing my granny would have said: if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. It sounds a bit nonsensical when you first hear it, but the more you think about it, the more sense it makes. Right, so somewhere I want to incorporate that saying. It might just be kind of written in the background. It might not even be visible, but it's going to be. I want to include it somewhere. I'm going to need, what have I done with them? Got that dark bit there and the grey bit. I'm thinking the easiest thing is going to be to just black this whole thing over and start from there. That's what I'm going to do. Right, so from here on in, I'm not going to talk all the way through this probably. I will feed it through and try another voiceover, because I need to make myself try that voiceover thing again to get the hang of it. So here I go. So I'm just getting ready to paint my background. I've just dropped some black paint directly onto the page, and I've got a damp brush, and I'm just scrubbing it around the page as rough as you like, because I want it to look like soil in the end. I'm now putting some sort of terracotta colour over the top of that, blending that in using a bit of rag and a scrubby brush to get as much texture as I can. Now I've put a bit of yellow ochre in with some more terracotta, brighten it up a bit, knocked that back with an old vac, and I'm just keeping going, building up layers and layers until I'm happy with the look of it. I want it to look like underground. I mean, also we're just getting to the point now where I'm quite happy with it. You can't really see it too well on the camera. Now I've got a pencil and I'm just sketching out my little seeds, my bean shapes, spreading them out randomly around the page, and then I've plopped some paint directly onto my glass mat there, and I'm just using it to fill in those shapes to give me a base to work on. They won't end up being that colour, and it took a couple of coats to sort of cover these as much as I wanted to. That paint isn't too great actually. Here I am doing the second coat. There we go. So that's that bit, and then I'm wiping off the excess paint on an empty page rather than washing it down the sink. Now I've got some transparent gesso. It looks sort of white there, but it will dry transparent, and it will give me a nice sort of tooth to work into with colour pencils. And I'm just penciling out my wording there. So this is a wish garden, and I'm going over that now with white pencil. And now I'm penciling in that quote, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Now going around outlining the beans and giving them a bit of definition with black, and beginning to add colour with a red pencil. I want them to look a bit like those red kidney beans, you know. Darker red now to add some sort of shading. And now I'm using a white pencil and going over the quote, but I'm not going over the beans. I'm just sort of doing it where it shows, kind of behind the beans, if that makes sense. They won't show up that much in the end. I want it to look like they're kind of almost part of the root system, and yeah, I don't want them too obvious. So I'm going over again with some Neocolour water soluble crayons and then a damp brush to knock it all back a bit and give it a bit more texture. And now I'm just freehanding, just going straight in with my white pencil to add the little shoots and things where the seeds are beginning to sprout, just using my original sketch as a reference. I'm now using the dark red pencil to write in my wishes. So I've got joy, peace, I can't remember what that one was, love, happiness, and then a lighter shade just to add some kind of lighter tones in the middle of the beans. Not highlights exactly, there's no light, they're underground, aren't they? And then I'm using a green pencil and adding some green to the shoots, which also doesn't make sense because they wouldn't get any green yet when they're still under the ground, would they? That's chlorophyll, isn't it? I think. Right, just picking up those words again, the title of the page. This is a wish garden, which of course originally was This is a thought garden, but I'm going my own sweet way as usual. I'm writing in page 13. I've got my lovely sparkle pen. Now I love these clear sparkle pens. I thought it would make them look a bit like magical beans if they had a bit of sparkle. Just trying to show you the sparkle there, but it really doesn't show up on the camera. They're lovely, those pens. Kind of like adding a bit of glitter, but more subtle than glitter. They're really nice to use. And now I'm just adding some texture because I thought it all looked a bit flat. And then I thought, no, it needs to be darker, so I'm going in with a with a dark black pencil. I'm doing lots of cross hatching. And now white to redefine the shoots. I think I'm about getting there now. Yep. Well, I'm finished with that now. As always, took a turn I wasn't expecting. I don't know if either of the cameras have picked up the lovely sparkle you get with these I don't know, there's like a Winkler Stella pen, there's all sorts of different brands of these. Now what's this one? Can't even read it. Spectrum Noir Sparkle, but they all look kind of camera. They all look sort of roughly the same. You get this like brush with a clear sparkly liquid in it, and you get different colour ones as well, but I just get the clear ones and put them over whatever colour I like. I just thought adding a bit of sparkle to the beans is quite fun. So yeah. That's me done for today. I'm going to have a go at editing this now and see if I can make a bit better hash of it than I did the first one with my new setup. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming to my craft room, and I will look forward to seeing you again really soon. Bye. Oh, can't remember how to turn it off. There it is. Mouse isn't working. Where's my mouse? Why is my mouse not? There it is. You see, that worked. I'm really going now. Bye.